In this video, I'm going to show you the 10 ASX stocks with the highest return so far in 2025. Today I'll be using a screener from today's video sponsor, Stockopedia. They have a fantastic platform that offers investors several market-leading tools to do in-depth research on over 63,000 stocks from all over the world. Australia has over 1,700 listed stocks, so having a tool like Stockopedia can help you filter and sort your way through. In this video, we'll use it to find the ASX stocks with the highest absolute price change over the past 6 months. This isn't to say they'll grow at the same rate throughout the rest of the year, but rather there has been a momentum shift for these stocks in 2025. It could be caused by a rise in commodity prices, global events, a change in legislation, or simply an uptick in financial performance, all of which could present a buying opportunity in the stock, a competitor stock, or an industry itself. In my Stockopedia screener, I first apply a filter for the ASX. We only want to see Australian stocks with liquidity, so that brings us down to 1,694 stocks. Second, we want to isolate companies with a positive 6-month return. A little under half of the ASX had a positive return so far this year, which in itself is surprising. Third, I only want to filter for stocks that had a last traded price of at least $1 and a market capitalisation of at least 100 million Australian dollars. Small cap stocks tend to have less liquidity, so price movements tend to be more exaggerated. This leaves us with 256 stocks. And finally, one cool feature you only get with Stockopedia is their StockRanks score. For every stock, they weigh up 3 primary drivers of stock market returns: quality, value, and momentum. Behind each driver, the Stockopedia team scans through the financials and assesses various factors, giving an eventual score for each. The combination of these 3 scores is then evaluated against all other stocks, giving it a StockRanks score. Over time, it is shown to be a positive indicator of a stock's strength. Now, it's not a perfect science and doesn't guarantee stock market returns, but it is a positive indicator. Applying a filter to eliminate any stocks with a stock rank of below 80, we get our final 10 stocks we'll be looking at in this video. First up, we have Motorcycle Holdings, ticker MTO. They're Australia's largest motorcycle retailer, selling new and used bikes, parts, accessories, finance, and insurance. They're also a distributor for many brands through their Mojo Group arm. With a market cap of $234 million, a top-tier stock rank of 99, and a 95.8% gain in 6 months, they've raced ahead of most ASX stocks. The stock had upwards movement throughout the year, but of note was a big jump on June 27th. It was announced they were acquiring a competitor, Peter Stevens and Harley Heaven, a deal valued at 7 to 9 million Australian dollars. The motorcycle retailing industry in Australia is highly fragmented, with Motorcycle Holdings standing out as the largest player, owning 46 of Australia's 700 dealerships. So this deal will add several new locations and boost their top line by hundreds of millions of dollars. The co-founder of Magellan Financial, Hamish Douglas, also bought up a 10.45% share earlier this year, adding to investors' confidence in the business. Revenue is up year over year, profits have slid slightly, but are tracking back up, and over the past couple years, they've even paid a decent dividend yield of 3 to 4.5%. So Motorcycle Holdings is a great place to start on our list as we move into our second stock, Cog Financial Services, ticker COG. They provide asset finance, leasing, and insurance to small businesses across Australia, and they've been growing quickly in 2025. With a $340 million market cap, a strong stock rank of 97, and a 76.5% capital gain, the momentum has been strong. The stock had strong buying activity around April, with the momentum continuing to grow from there. This is when they released strong quarterly results, with NPAT rising 9% year over year on the back of strong demand for novated leases. Bell Potter raised their price target at this point, anticipating earnings quality was improving, leading to higher returns on invested capital. So revenue has grown steadily over recent years, net income is holding strong, and earnings per share is tracking much higher. The company is sitting on a lot of cash, but its levels of debt are relatively high, so that's something for investors to keep an eye on. They've also paid dividends since 2020, now sitting around the 4% mark. Next up, we've got Austal, ticker ASB. They build high-speed defense ships and ferries, supplying major clients like the US Navy and Australian Defense Force. With a $2.2 billion market cap, a stock rank of 93, and a 73.1% gain in 6 months, investors clearly like where they're heading. Zooming out to a 5-year chart, it doesn't take much to see what's probably contributing to their increase. With global tensions increasing over the past couple years and Trump's pressure on allies to increase defense spending, Austal stands to benefit. Australia itself announced back in March they were planning to bring $1 billion in defense spending forward. Things like this have led to their order book growing to $14.2 billion, up 11% in just 6 months. The largest buying activity, however, took place in March when it was announced that Korean conglomerate Hanwha had taken a 9.9% stake in Austal. These types of updates are positive for a stock as it shows the company is attractive to large multinationals with professional investment managers. Often, they also pay a premium for the shares, indicating they're probably undervalued. In this case, Hanwha offered a 16% premium, so this was very positive for the stock. And all these factors couldn't have come at a better time, with revenue and profits well down on their levels just a few years back. Despite this, the company has a whopping $350 million in the bank, outweighing their debt, a very decent order book, and a solid balance sheet. But with a PE ratio exceeding 34 times and poor top and bottom line, their value factors seem to be under pressure. Up next, we have AIMS Property Securities Fund, ticker APW. They invest in a mix of listed and unlisted property assets across Australia and Singapore, giving exposure to commercial real estate. As a part of the broader AIMS Group, they own or have invested in several property assets, including the Woolies HQ in Sydney. Their market cap is $133 million, their stock rank is 95, and the stock price is up 67% over the past 6 months. With an absence of news or public information to research, there isn't much to look at around this stock. So let's jump into our fifth stock, Aspen, ticker APZ. Unlike the American Aspen, this company offers affordable accommodation options for Australians. Their asset base of over $600 million is divided into residential property sales, lifestyle communities for over 50s, and holiday parks for Australian families. With a $770 million market cap, stock rank of 74, and a 60% rise in share price, they're capitalizing on the growing number of Australians looking for economical living options. The company has had solid performance over recent years, comfortably growing revenue, albeit with recent troubles on the profitability side of things. In February, the stock fell 4% on the back of its profit announcement, but saw a 6% rise on the back of a $32 million acquisition of a new accommodation complex in Western Australia. But overall, as you can see from the chart, its stock price has risen steadily throughout 2025. It appeared the market was a bit late to acknowledge the improving value of the shares. Debt is creeping up, but still very manageable as compared to their asset value, and with interest rates set to continue falling, this is likely to be well under control. Now we've got Genus Plus, ticker GNP. They build and maintain power lines, substations, and telecom networks, critical infrastructure across Australia. Today, they are one of the fastest growing companies in the space across Australia. Their market cap is $770 million, they've got a high stock rank of 93, and the stock's up 56% over 6 months. Like what we just saw with Aspen, Genus Plus is another stock that has steadily risen not just over 6 months, but over several years as well. Revenue keeps climbing, profitability too, and brokers have been upgrading their forecasts as a result, with buy signals. It also pays a wee dividend of 0.5% and has a negative net debt figure, indicating their cash stockpile more than exceeds the company's long-term debt commitments, which is a positive sign. If you like the look of the Stockopedia tool, using my link down below, you can get a 14-day free trial and a 25% discount on annual plans. Moving along, we have Cogstate, ticker CGS. They make brain health tests used in clinical trials and by doctors, especially for Alzheimer's research. They're sitting on a $316 million market cap, stock rank of 91, and have jumped 54% in 6 months. The stock has progressively climbed throughout the year, but saw a noticeable 10% jump on June 24th, when they had an upwards revision to their earnings outlook. Versus FY24, Cogstate announced they expect revenue to increase by as much as 24% and profits after tax as much as 97%. So this was a major revision. So revenue is growing, profits are growing, and the business is obviously generating solid returns. The market has already baked in much of this, as reflected in their reasonably high PE ratio, so that's something to just be mindful of. Up next is Eagers Automotive, ticker APE. Founded over 110 years ago, today they're one of the largest vehicle dealership groups across Australia and New Zealand. They have a market capitalization of $4.8 billion, 8,500 employees, a stock rank of 83, and had a 54% stock price gain over the past 6 months. The largest gains were observed on February 27th, when the stock shot up almost 20% on the back of a positive financial outlook. Their profits beat analyst expectations by $10 million. They announced a 50-cent dividend when analysts expected 37, and they projected a $1 billion uplift in revenue in FY25. Since then, there have been positive updates like signing a long-term agreement with BYD and continued share buybacks. However, subsequent announcements around profitability have fallen short, and the analysts over at UBS have downgraded the stock. So despite a drop in new car sales in FY25, Eagers continues to gain in value and even find top-line growth. Profitability has slipped in recent years, but they continue paying a healthy dividend of 4%, an added bonus to their capital growth year to date. Up ninth is Fineos Holdings, ticker FCL. They provide cloud software to health, life, and disability insurers, basically helping insurers manage claims and policies more efficiently. They have a $1.7 billion market cap, a stock rank of 86, and had a 52% gain over the past 6 months. A big piece of news for the stock came in March, when Citibank upgraded their profit forecasts, maintained their buy rating, and raised their price target. Alongside a growing top line, Fineos has improving profit levels, with some forecasts predicting they'll be profitable in FY26. The company has very low levels of debt and a good cash balance to move through this period given current forecasts. Then we have Media, ticker OML. They run billboards, bus ads, airport screens, you name it, across Australia and New Zealand. With a $950 million market cap, an impressive stock rank of 91, and a 47% return in 6 months, investors are positive on this stock. In February, the company announced a 14% uplift in year-to-date revenue, which saw the stock jump 15%. However, since then, there have been a few negative headlines. The CEO stepped down in April. Investment bank Jefferies downgraded the stock in July, and later in July was a key contract loss with Auckland Transport. Investors have been unfazed with the company, just 1 cent off its year-to-date peak. Revenue and profitability is expected to increase over the coming year, and the company offers a roughly 3% dividend yield. The company does have a substantial level of debt, however, sitting at around the same levels as the market cap itself. If you enjoyed the video and want to give Stockopedia a try yourself, make sure to check out my link down below in the video description. Honestly, digging through stock disclosure documents to find the right data can be a nightmare, but Stockopedia does all the heavy lifting for you. It pulls in the financials, charts, ratios, dividends, insider transactions, you name it. It turns them into clear, easy-to-read dashboards. With their screener tool, you can instantly filter thousands of companies on hundreds of attributes. Or you can simply leave it to the Stockopedia experts. Use the preset screens, filter through the StockRanks system, or follow the same processes as well-known investors via the Guru screens. It's like having a team of analysts in your pocket. I personally use Stockopedia all the time to explore the market, and as I use spreadsheets all day in my job, it's nice to have a tool to use instead of doing the same for my investing. They've recently done some research around the UK's top stocks in July 2025, featuring some companies with high stock ranks and strong earnings momentum. 8 out of the 10 major economic sectors are covered from this set of companies to offer some good diversification principles. So if you want to give them a go or check out that report, make sure to use my link down below in the video description or in the pinned comments. You can also use my coupon code BC25 at the checkout. Viewers of my channel can get a 14-day trial and a 25% discount on any annual plan. And if you want to watch more ASX investing content specifically around dividend investing, make sure to check these videos out here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to catching you in the next one. Cheers.